Hello.
All right, it's good. We fucking live, bro.
Oh, damn.
Bro, thanks for coming on to the podcast, Zach. I
Thank
fucking
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
excited.
Dude, the first thing I wanted to talk about is because a lot of people might be watching this, might have no idea who you are, and you guys are actually looking at the valedictorian for my school in high school, fucking Heritage Class of 2018. Gang, gang, shout out. So, Zach, let's start from the very beginning, man.
Yeah.
Because I met you in middle school.
Middle school.
And so where'd you move from? Let's talk about your family and all that.
Yeah. So, I've both my parents and then my two older brothers. So I'm like the youngest in the family. Um, all of them were actually born in the Philippines, and like my parents lived there their whole life. My brothers spent like the first couple of years of their life, and then they decided to move into like California, and then we were like in like East Bay, like moving around different like cities and stuff, like Pittsburgh and all that. And then they had me, so like I'm like the first one in like my entire family to like be born in America. So they always joke like that I'm like the white kid. It was funny because like I don't know, I just like always grew up. I was like I hated rice.
Mm,
I was like, oh my god, I don't like rice, but that's like all we eat.
yeah.
And then so like they were like, oh, this kid's definitely the white kid.
So
like,
what city from the Philippines?
They were born in like Manila, which is like the capital.
Manila, dude. Okay, I was doing a pod. I think it was with Jesse, and I had a layover, and I couldn't remember the town, Manila. I couldn't remember the city, the name of it.
Yeah.
So when from your parents' perspective, because being first generation immigrants, right, coming to America, what was their perspective of everything growing up? Like just how America works, right? Like what would do you like what was their first thoughts?
That's a good question. I think like it's I think it's very typical of like a lot of like people that immigrate into like America. This is like a lot of the parents would be like, this is the better life for like for our kids. This is a place where they can like flourish and thrive and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the main reasons they did it for like it was for like me and my brothers. They knew
course.
that like we would be like have a good education and like good time over here and stuff like that.
I mean,
So
hey, bro, you're in UCLA, so things worked out pretty well, huh?
thank God, yeah.
So once you guys got here, your parents immigrated here with you and your brother. What for you? Because you were born here, your brother. What's the age difference?
Yeah, so my two older brothers, my middle brother, like he's 3 years older. He's 3 years older than me, and then my oldest brother is 1 year older than him, so like 4 years.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So do they remember much of
From
the Philippines?
my middle brother doesn't, I don't think, and then I think my oldest brother spent like kindergarten or like first grade there.
Oh, so he has a
So
little, but like
they're still little, yeah.
yeah.
Didn't like already have it.
Have you gone
established.
back?
I only gone back once when I was like 5 years old.
Oh, when you were young and
Yeah.
gotcha.
I do remember a lot of it because it was like a crazy experience, but like I'm itching to go back. Like being like this old now, I'm like,
Yeah,
it would be
dude.
so.
It's your history.
Yeah,
It's your
exactly.
history. So after that, you came back here, and when I met you in middle school, one of the things that I remember you the most for, just because I didn't know anybody else who was in the program, was the GATE program.
Okay.
Right now, so for people who don't know what the GATE program is, I'm gonna try to explain it, and Zach, tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you get it.
It's basically for people or children that were excelling faster than what the curriculum was giving you, right? So from everything you learned in GATE, like was there anything when you were a young kid that like sparked your interest in engineering or like that program specifically?
In gate or engineering?
Well, in GATE, like when we were young, because I have no idea what GATE was. I wasn't a
Yeah.
part of it, you know.
So I think with the theme of like a lot of things in my childhood, since my brothers already like went through like the school and stuff, they were like all a part of GATE through like elementary school and also middle school.
Gotcha. So the family was all in it.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
family was in it. So when I was like in elementary school, my mom was like, "You have to get into GATE." I was like, "Okay, like that's my thing." It's the biggest like blunder of my childhood. Like for some reason, like I just didn't get accepted into the program as like elementary school kid, and I was like, "Dude, am I like dumb?" I was like, "I'm a failure." I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh,
And then
Lord.
so then when I went to like our middle school, they finally let me in. I was like, "Oh, thank God."
You're like, dude, thank God I got in.
I'm
I'm
no longer disappointed.
I'm not the failure.
Yeah. And then I think like one of the biggest memories for me like with the GATE program is they took you to like a college campus and then like you got to
Where'd
do
you
a
go?
tour. We went to UC Davis.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
it was like I'd go to this colleges and stuff with like my brothers when I was like in elementary school, but like I was just like, oh, pretty building. Like I don't know about college or anything.
Yeah, you didn't know the experience and like what it really was, you know.
And then, but yeah, I just remember going to UC Davis and it was like a really big like deal for me. I was like, oh, this is college. Like this could be me soon, you know.
That
So
was like one of the biggest eye openers.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. So once you got, because Gate was like you were, that doesn't go in high school, right?
No, yeah, that
Like it
ends.
ends in middle school.
hmm
So once you got to high school, was there any class that you took? Because based on the path you're going right now in life, being an engineer and designing fucking robots and shit, like like I guess I just want to know what inspired you to or like what inspired that? Because for me as a kid, like I always remember wanting to build stuff. Legos was my big thing
Oh,
because it's
like
like you just make whatever the fuck your mind could concoct, right?
hmm
For you, what was that moment?
That's a hard question. That's kind of funny. Like in terms of engineering, I think it was really interesting because for me, it was like I was never in like there's like a lot of like engineering programs I found out like talking to other engineers at UCLA that like they do like first robotics and it's like a program like where they build competitive robots and like in high school. Um it's not that it wasn't like that big of a deal like in our school. So I never knew about it. The only reason I actually picked like I just knew I wanted to do engineering my entire life. Because I was like it's kind of like I was good at math and like I was good at science. And then from what I heard, like math and science is like engineering. So that's why I applied in like engineering program. Like I knew, but it was like I didn't know which engineering. So like when I was applying to colleges and stuff, I was like going between like a bunch of different ones and like trying to like understand what they are.
Was there anything that any other majors that really interest you besides engineering?
No.
No, that was it.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to go into engineering like since like day one.
Day one. That was the big thing.
Yeah, I just didn't know which cuz
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, so after when we were in high school, fucking become the goddamn valedictorian, right? You become the guy who's giving us this speech. I remember looking up there and be like, "Fucking Zach is giving this, bro. Hell yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
I was
That's
going
what
to
it
shit
should
my
be."
pants, dude.
Oh my god. Yeah, bro, what was it like being up in front of the stage? I mean, this is an off-topic question, but like when you were up there giving your speech, like what the fuck was it like? I mean, you had the entire school and everybody's goddamn parents in front of you.
I'm not going to lie. Okay. I have a whole story about that. I don't know like
Dude, oh bro, let's tell
like
it.
it's like from before the speech leading up to the speech
Dude, let's
and
go through the whole thing.
like even after. Oh man. Um Okay, so okay, so it's like senior year, halfway through the year, I think, and I'm just like sitting in like one of my AP classes. It's a senior year. I'm kind of like blowing it off, so I'm like in the back, like on my phone, and then the security guard like walks in, and he goes like, "I'm looking for Zach Rubio," and I'm like drop my phone, like pretend to do work. I'm like, "What's happening?" I'm just like thinking like, "What did I do? Like, what are the list of things that I did that they're like?"
Wait, was it Ray? Or
No,
like,
it wasn't Ray. I forgot the name of the
oh, it's just
dude.
one of the other
Yeah, this
dudes.
was like one of the other ones.
Gotcha.
But then I was like, it's me, and he's like, we're going to the principal's office. I was like, well, like I'm done. I'm there goes college. Like I'm dead. And so I get into his car and we're driving to the principal's office. I was like, what is this about? And he was like, he didn't say it. He didn't even respond to me. And I was like, oh, this is serious. I was like, I'm sweating now.
Oh Lord.
We walk into like a conference room.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of like big, like important people and like the school board and stuff like that, all in like a long conference table and like,
Damn.
uh,
That's very daunting.
yeah. So and like in my mind's like, what am I getting caught for? Like, what did I do? What did I, like? It's like, what am I screwed? Like,
Yeah.
they're like, have a seat. I was just like sweating, and they're like, Zach. I was like, yeah. You're gonna be our valedictorian, and everyone's cheering. I was like, and like I was just like stunned that like I'm not in trouble. I was like, they just like looked at me, and it was like the weirdest reaction they probably have seen.
Oh my God.
But they're essentially like, yeah, like you just gotta write up a speech and then submit it by like this deadline. And it was like a couple weeks from now, and then so I completely forgot about it. And then I got called in again like a couple weeks later,
Yeah.
and they're like, Zach, you haven't submitted your speech. And I was like, oh, the speech.
I forgot.
I was like, I sent it. Like, I must have forgot to hit, or like I had it in the email. I must have
Yeah.
hit send. I was like, let me go back to class and do that right now. I went back to class, just grabbed the laptop, sat in the back, quickly typed something, and just submitted it. And
Dude,
then
was that the speech?
it was the first progression, I'd say.
Oh, okay. I was like, bro, are you telling me that fucking that speech that you said to everybody you whipped out of your ass in like 5 minutes?
Oh, just you wait, just you wait.
All right, keep going. My
that
bad.
was
I'm gonna stop interrupting.
No. That was the first level. So then I forgot about it like the entire time until like we started doing like graduation like walkthroughs and stuff like that. And then they would like have us walk onto the stage and like they would show us there's a binder up there with like all the different speeches of like each person that's speaking. And then so I looked at mine. I was like, mine was there, and I was like, oh man, like that kind of sucks. I remember standing up there. So it was the night before graduation that I had to give the speech, and I haven't practiced or anything. So I was like, okay, I should probably like not embarrass my entire family.
Yeah.
So I started reading it, going over it by myself. This was like midnight already. I read it. I was like, this is garbage. I need to change it. So I like.
Oh wait, but this was when? Like, how long was this until you had to give this speech? Like, where you're like looking at it, revising, you're like, holy shit, this is bad.
Oh, this is the night before, like midnight. And
before
then like
before
like
our graduation.
Yeah, I don't even remember when we graduated. Oh, it was a nighttime graduation. So like it was after school. We got like I'd probably give the speech at like 6 o'clock or something like that. This is 12 before.
God damn.
So like, so I was like started changing things. Rewriting things, adding parts in. I knew I was going to like. I'm not a very like verbose, like well-written person. I'm an engineer. Like I like numbers. Like I barely speak English well. And so I knew like trying to give like some deep meaning speech was not gonna be the move.
I wasn't in the ballpark.
And that's just not me. Like so I was just like, I'm gonna try and be funny.
Hell yeah.
I was like, I can do that. So then I like wrote jokes in, said some stuff and like rearranged it, and it was like 3 a.m. Finally practiced it a couple times. Like, okay, this is doable. Like, I can live with this.
Yeah.
So I went to bed, or like I remember leaving the laptop there, just going straight to bed because it was super late. Got to get up at like 6 a.m. And then so I wake up, I get in the car. My mom is gonna hate me for telling a story. I get in the car, and we just start driving to school. It's just me and my mom. And then I remember she didn't even say anything. She just went straight for it. She was like driving. She was like, so I have some things that I think you should edit about your speech. Like my jaw dropped. I was like, you read the speech?
No.
And like I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I just have some things that I think would be better. I was like, you don't read the speech, Mom. What do you mean?
Dude, that's some shit my mom would do. She's like, hey, I don't think this is appropriate or something. I feel like, well.
That's exactly.
Oh my god, of course.
And then so I was like, Mom, like, you don't read the speech. Like, what the heck? She was like, oh, really? And I was like, Mom, we had a little argument. It was like, fine.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, well, someone knows what I'm gonna like say and like what my speech is about, pretty much. So, like, I need to change it again. So
and this is on the drive to like school and like we're graduating.
So like
to do it.
Yeah, I was like thinking about like how my mom knew it like the entire day during school. And then so I like this is after school now. It's graduation time. We're like in our gowns and stuff, taking pictures, and this is like how like it's on a football field. So all the parents are on the things, and you do the walkout.
Yeah.
So while we were waiting to do the walkout, I was sitting there. I was like, was stuck. I was really nervous also. So like,
dude, I fucking would have been just as nervous as you.
Yeah. So like, I was like ready to throw up. Like Jet, he was like my walk partner.
Yeah.
He like saw me on the side. I was like, dude, like bent over. I was like, oh man. I was like, like I need a paper bag. Oh man. And then, so I was like, in that moment, I was like, I need to change the speech. I was like, this isn't good enough. Like, no. I need to change it. So in my head, like, they already have like the one printed version up there.
Yeah.
And then like I had the next one that I like memorized the night before, and I needed to change it again. So then,
God damn, Zach, that is insane that you even were able to like. Okay, sorry, all right, wait, keep going. We're not even at the end of the story yet.
Sorry, this is long. So then I was like, I need to change it again. So I like changed things that I wanted to say about my family, because like my mom like already knew what I was gonna say about her. I was like, that's no, like you don't get that. Like you're gonna get surprised essentially. So then I also changed a couple more jokes, and then we walk out. It's graduation. We're all sitting on the field. I'm still like shaking, like super nervous. Um, and I remember like one of the first speakers. Her speech was like similar in the style. Like she wanted to make a lot of like pop culture references, a lot of jokes. It was good. Like I thought it was really funny, but since it was at nighttime, it was really windy and there was a lot of like audio issues. So just no one heard her like jokes. Like I only heard it because I was in the front row and I was like, this is pretty funny. But like the parents couldn't really hear it because it was just getting drowned out by the wind. So it was really
We're all walking. Oh, wait, I think my mic was muted. I remember when we were walking down, my cap fucking flew off my head, and there was a cord from one speaker going, I think, to the stage, and like I see my mom, and I'm like waving at her, I'm like, "Hey, ma!" And I almost fucking ate shit and tripped over this wire and face planted at my goddamn high school graduation, and I recovered. I was like, "Holy shit! Okay, just keep walking. Get to the chair."
Oh man, yeah. Oh wait, real quick, is the red button mean mute?
Well, if it's flashing.
Oh, if it's flashing.
Yeah,
Okay,
but no, you're good. I'm watching your audio levels right here.
Alright.
But okay, so you were getting ready to go up and do your speech, right?
Mhm.
And you had one version that you sent in, you had a second version that you memorized that's not the one you sent in, and then you're like, holy shit, this isn't good enough, and it's right before you're about to do it. And then what happened? So like when you're about to go up and do it, what'd you decide on?
I was like, I had like a couple like different jokes, I think, and then so like, I pulled some. I was like, that's too dumb. Like, it's cringy.
Shit.
And then so like, and then after hearing like that speech that with like all the audio issues, I was like, oh my god, I can't do a funny speech. Like everyone, it's just gonna be painfully like 5 minutes of just pure silence, and I didn't even account for that. I was just be like, oh, I'll do funny, and like everyone will laugh. Like, what if they just don't think you're funny?
Dude, you sound like a stand-up comic. You're like, I'm going up there, I got these jokes, and I see somebody else that went up, did not land at all. Now I don't know what to do with my shit.
Dude, I was freaking out. Like it was Marcus and Jay who were sitting next to me. They're like trying to console me. I was like, dude, I'm gonna throw up. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw up. And they're like, it's time for like Zach Rubio to come up, give his speech. I was like, okay. Like stand up. And then like, you know those things that like you're stole, like the piece of fabric like you wear around like the stoles and stuff?
Yeah.
So I stand up and it's like windy and like I'm like so in my head, it like flies off. I don't even realize, so I'm like continue walking. Everyone's like, Zach, pick it up. And I like turn around, like, what's happening?
Like, what?
I go like chase my stole, like pick it up, and I'm like shaking.
Dude, did that throw you off your rhythm at
Oh,
all?
100%.
Oh,
It
shit.
was just this entire time I was just like shaking up. Oh my god. I'm like a little shaky right now. I just relive like thinking about it. And then so I go up to the speech, I look down at the paper, like pretty different speech. I was like, fuck, like I just gotta do this. I just gotta give the speech.
Yeah.
And then like I got lucky because like the wind stopped. It wasn't drowning out. Like everyone can hear my voice, and I just started like giving the speech, and then people were laughing.
Oh, yeah, I remember your speech. Yeah, you had. Hey, I'm not gonna shit on any of the speakers that were at the graduation, but Zach, you were the only one I've enjoyed. Everybody else was like trying to talk about like we're still gonna be friends forever. And I'm like, I don't even know your name. You know? Okay, so all right, so you're giving your speech, right? And then, so what version did you end up going with?
It was just the one that I thought of like while
Right
waiting to
there.
walk up. Yeah.
God damn.
And the biggest part of the speech obviously was that I made like sort of like a sex joke, like in the speech.
Yes, you did.
It was pretty funny because like I like said the speech, like I said the joke, and I was like supposed to continue going, but like after I said it, like my voice was so shaky, like I paused, like there's probably a recording somewhere, like I paused right before I said it, because like I was like, it's time. And then I said it, and I paused again because I was just supposed to keep going, but like I like just had like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like I said it and I stopped. So then like in that brief moment, like everyone like cheered. I was like, oh shit. Thank God. Like, and also this, oh my God, this is why it's so funny. Like the school board was right behind me, like directly behind me. And this is when our principal she was like the new principal, like just like halfway through that year.
You're talking about Miss Wells.
Miss
right?
Wells, yeah.
Yep.
She was like interim principal at that time. And then so like to think about that, I just like gave like an or like a different speech than the one submitted, and like had a sex joke in it.
Dude, she was probably like after that, she was like, "What the fuck did Zach just say?"
Dude, she was hot.
Did you guys talk after that? And she
Oh,
was
I
like, "Zach."
avoided her.
Oh, really?
So I didn't hear it after I gave my speech. I just like sat back down, but like I didn't even hear it. But like she was like trying to like cover it up. She was like, "Oh, like that was a great like off the top speech, Zach, that you gave right there." And then so like my parents told me this.
That's a great way to put it, Miss Wells. Fucking off the top. Yeah, no, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So after that, right? So you did the speech. You were the best speaker that we had there for sure. And what was it like when you got your acceptance letter to UCLA?
Ooh.
Because for me, I'm not in college. I didn't apply to anything. But when I found out that you and there was a couple other people in
There
our
was a lot,
class
actually.
that were going to UCLA, I was like, bro, fuck yeah, but Zach, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first got your acceptance letter?
I remember that day actually. It was a couple of UCs came out at the same time. It was UCSD, UCLA, and UC Santa Barbara.
Gotcha.
For me, honestly, it was a sigh of relief that like I have somewhere to go, because they all come out at different times. And like if you remember, like everyone in our school is like always gunning for Stanford. Like I was the same way, like Stanford or like die or something like that.
Yes, I remember one dude in particular. His name was Shane. Do you remember Shane?
Wait,
Oh, dude, he was in one of my classes. I'm not gonna say his last name or nothing
okay.
for the podcast, but he always wore a Stanford shirt and everything. Funny ass dude. But I just remember him always be like, "I'm going to fucking Stanford." I'm like, "All right, Shane, good luck, good luck." So okay, yeah. So you got your acceptance letter and you felt this big ass sigh of relief.
Yeah.
But why did you pick? I mean, I understand UCLA. Like this place is absolutely amazing.
100%.
But what was the leading choice to come here over like SD or Santa Barbara or any of the other ones you got accepted to?
It was interesting actually. It was a huge for me. It was actually between UCLA and USC.
Oh,
Those were
gotcha.
like my tops in my like top 5 schools that my mom, like we always had a list.
Yeah.
It always goes like Stanford, USC, UCLA, and then like so on. So then it was between UCLA and USC, and then so like for me, I was like, I'm gonna go to USC. All my like UCLA friends are watching this would probably like hate me.
They're like, "This fucking traitor!
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it!"
So then like I was like attending both events, like UCLA and USC like acceptance events, and I was getting hyped for both. Um, but then the huge thing was like, so I was like lucky enough to get a scholarship for both. Um, and they were like around the same amount. But
Mhm.
because USC is a private school, their tuition is twice the amount of like UCLA's. So even though I got a
Dang.
scholarship for both, UCLA like for the first year I would get like a majority of like my tuition covered. But like for USC it was only like half or like under a quarter.
Gotcha.
So then I had to have like it was mostly like my parents convinced me, because like thank God they did, because like student loans and stuff are not it. Obviously that's
Hell
something
yeah.
that you have to like deal with.
Hell yeah.
So like we sat down at a table, had a long discussion. They're like, it really came like, because I knew I would be happy at both. So it really came down to like the numbers of all of it.
So that was the deciding factor.
was
The
the deciding-
financials.
yeah.
Don't want to get a fucking student loan, have that
Mhm.
over your head for years and years. Makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
So what was it like your first day here? Because like I remember when I moved in, my brother, it seemed like the days after when I'd come up and visit him, because he went to UC Santa Cruz, like within the first week, there's just this visible change, like in whoever goes to any college for like a long period of time. And for you, what was like the coolest thing that like first happened, or that like you first was like, this college is awesome. This is a fucking awesome experience I'm having, and I'm glad that like I'm here doing this and I'm learning and I'm growing.
Yeah. Um, like it's a surprising thing actually when you first go to college. I feel like the first couple days were kind of boring.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I guess it was like me being like super nervous, because like just moved in, like I just left, like my parents just like left me pretty much.
Yeah.
And like I'm on my own here, like I don't really know anybody. And then so I didn't really do too much, actually. I was just kind of like in my room, or like I would hang. The only people I knew were people I met in orientation who I like had to like stay with like a couple nights with.
Mm,
So like I would only like hang out with like those people, and then
gotcha.
but the first moment really when like it came together, it was like a college kind of like thing was it was like the week before school starts, and then I knew one other person like on my floor, and we were like, dude, like I'm bored. He was like, yeah, I'm bored too. We're like, let's just go to the lounge, like the common space per floor is just like couches, like a room to
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
out in.
yeah.
It's like let's just go there, just like sit there and like hang out, I
Yeah.
guess.
Be out in public. Everyone's gonna walk by.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we brought a speaker and we were just sitting there, like just talking, and then we are just talking about music. So we started playing music through the speaker. It was loud, and then slowly, like one by one, like people heard the music. It was really funny,
Yeah.
and they started like just coming into the room, like introducing
You
themselves.
broke the ice.
Dude, yeah, it was
Hell
crazy.
yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, like you just see like their entire floor, like half the floor was pretty much like there,
Dude,
just vibing. Everyone was meeting
what?
each other, like singing along, and I was like just sitting back. I was like, wow, dude.
He's like, look what I created.
I was like, this is college. It was
Oh.
cool. And then yeah, and then from then on, like those groups of people that came that night would always be there like every night.
Yeah.
Just like whenever I'd come back from like dinner or a club meeting or something, they'd just be there hanging out and I could just like chat up with them for a couple 5 minutes. But yeah, that was kind of like the first thing. I was like, damn, this is college.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man. That's awesome. It was like that. It's like that first. I don't know. Did you feel like you were really starting to like break out of that high school shell?
Wait, sorry, say again.
Did you start feeling like you were breaking out of like your shell, like breaking out of like everything that we believed life to be in high school? Like you like, and with very quickly, you started realizing like, yo, like I'm growing into a completely different person than who I thought I was gonna be.
Yeah, I think so. It was definitely with those groups of people, like we would just like go hang out or like do a couple more like event after event, and you're like, dang, like this is so different, you know?
Yeah,
And you're just like, this is allowed, you know? Because like
yeah.
you just like go out into town like a Tuesday night or something like that, because there's something going on.
That's what makes college lit.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
ability.
you can just do that. I was like, wow.
So was your first club, and I mean, what was the name of it? The dancing club.
Oh, they
What-
down.
Yeah,
dance.
what,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
wearing a
Oh
shirt.
yeah.
Actually.
Shout them out. Hell
There you
yeah.
guys go.
Hell yeah.
Free
So
advertisement.
was that your first club that you joined?
Yeah. I joined like a lot. So freshman year, which I recommend for anyone who's going to college, like just join a shit ton of clubs freshman year, and then just you'll like because yeah, just join a bunch of them and then see which ones that you like, and then you can always just like drop them
Of
afterwards.
course.
So that's what I did. I was into like a lot of different clubs, but like the main ones were like foundations, like ASME, Bruin Racing, and
What's ASME?
ASME is my engineering club or one of my engineering clubs,
Oh,
American
gotcha.
Society of Mechanical Engineers.
Fuck
Yeah. So that's like the main one I'm doing like nowadays.
So that's kind of where your main focus is.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Gotcha.
But yeah, foundations was definitely like freshman fall quarter and like winter quarter also was like the main like the biggest thing for me.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Was there any like? Because for me, dude, I am not any kind of dancer at all. I've never ever felt the want or need to do it. But for you, was it natural? Like, because when I first saw that, I was like, God damn it, Zach, you're fucking going for it. That's fucking fire. And like for you, was there any reluctance to do that, or was it, or like when you got here and you got to UCLA and you started applying for your first couple clubs, you're like, you know what, fuck it, like I want to try it all.
Yeah. Actually, the reason I know about this club is because one of my friends, he was a year older than me. He goes here, and when I was a senior in like high school, I like was scrolling through my Instagram, and I just saw a picture about like his organization, and they do like a photo shoot to like advertise for their team. So it's really good marketing because it worked.
Hell yeah.
But I just remember seeing those pictures, like, damn, like he looks cool.
Yeah.
Like, I want to look cool.
Fuck yeah.
And then so like coming into college, I thought about like what things that I want to like get out of my experience. Like what are some classic college things? I was like, I want to learn how to dance. So then so with those two things, I was just like, I'm gonna go try it. It was like I was really nervous, and it was like I was like super awkward.
yeah.
But the crazy thing was like, which is such a cool thing about like this organization is they're so focused on like beginner like dancers and stuff like that, and people who never danced before. And just making them feel comfortable enough just to like go all out, like.
Dude, that's sick.
And then so that's what happened with me, and like, yeah, they're a big reason why I'm like super
Dude,
out there.
that's cool, man. I'm just happy for you, dude. I'm happy you fucking went for it. You know, you looked at what you wanted to do. You looked at the things in life where you're like, you know what, I've never tried that, and I'm gonna throw the thing that we all know is fear out the window, and just go for it.
Yeah.
You know. So was there anything here at UCLA that like ignited the fire? Like that broke the beast out of the cage? And what I mean by that is like some people that I know, like my brother's a great example, where like something happened to him in college where like everything just shifted, and like the idea of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna go after, and I'm gonna fucking be a goddamn beast at it, and I am going to just focus everything and all my attention at this one thing. And I'm like, have you had any moments like that, or like that, or a moment where you're like, dude, I am very, very passionate about this one thing, and like I want it so bad, you know?
That's hard. Yeah, I think like the drive of it all is something that like I have like that kind of comes and goes, because like it happened at like the start of high school, like coming in like as that kind of like young person, like that
Yeah.
underdog. I don't know. I see it as like an underdog, like you have your chip on your shoulder kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So like when I came into high school, I was like, I need to like join clubs, like do shit, like get ready to
Get
go to
after it.
college. Yeah. So like I was like super hyped about that. And then coming into college, it was sort of similar of like, um, I need to get like a job or like an internship.
Mhm.
And then like everyone always says like, it's super hard to get like it's like very hard to get like an internship like your freshman year as like an engineer. And then so I was like, okay, like that's what like I want to accomplish that. Like I want to do that. So that's why I was like joining a lot of different like engineering orgs. Just and when I joined those engineering orgs, I would like meet a lot of like the seniors, the juniors, and like build that relationship, because like they have like so much knowledge and stuff, and like stuff to like tell me like that they didn't know like as a freshman.
Yeah.
So I earned like I got a lot of like information, and like just developed that cool relationship to have. And then so yeah, for me it was just like focus that first year of college was like focusing like I want like an internship. Like that's what I'm going for. Like this is what I want. Yeah.
And then you eventually got that,
Yeah.
right? So what was the company, or like what was the internship for, and what was it centered around?
Yeah. The how I got it, it was essentially like I reached back to like my hometown, and a lot of like the engineering clubs I like was a part of at like high school, and talked to the teacher, and I was like, I'm currently looking for like anything, like do you know anything local? And then one of the teachers actually hit me back, and she said like, I know the owner of this company, he always like takes in some like interns and stuff. One of the people I used to know works there. Give him a call. And then the company is called Drill Tech, Drilling and Shoring. So essentially what they do, it's a really cool company. They for like construction jobs and stuff, when they like there's always like big equipment, like big drill rigs and stuff, but like for very weird and odd jobs, like normal standard sized like drill rigs don't work. So they build like a custom drill rig to solve that situation at that construction site.
That's all this company specialized in.
So like they have a bunch of like weird, like different, like never before seen like drill rigs and stuff. And so that's what they were up to. And
So
then,
what did you get to work on?
yeah, it was cool. So I got hired on. I was mainly doing like 3D modeling. So at the time when I came in, they were actually doing like one of their biggest jobs for like ever, because they were still like a medium-sized company. So essentially like this startup company, which was started actually by like ex Tesla like employees. It was like really cool. So when I heard that, I was like, ooh.
Yo, shout out Big Band Elon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You got me a job.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Essentially they're like creating like a solar panel like company. And they wanted like a drill rig that would drill like the solar panel like anchors, like essentially the bars that would connect the solar panels to like the ground. They needed a drill rig that would like go out on its own and like drill them into like the ground. So that's like the thing that they Drill Tech was working on.
Gotcha.
So they were in the middle of building like the process. Like when I came in for like an interview, you can like see it on like the shop floor. Like it was like half completed at the time. And I was like, dang, this is sick. I was like, this is my first time just like new kid here, and just like, whoa, like
Hell
that's
yeah,
a
new
big
kid on the
thing.
block. You're like, whoa, that's what I'm gonna be working on.
Yeah. So they told me, they're like, you're gonna be building, we need a 3D model of it essentially, because they the company wants like multiple iterations of the model, so we need like a 3D CAD model to work off of. So like I'm gonna be
Mm.
help developing that essentially. So I'd be like making parts and stuff like that on like the computer and stuff, and like,
So how long have you been using? Because you got this your freshman year.
hmm
One of the biggest softwares to develop anything is CAD.
yeah.
So how much experience did you have on CAD before getting this internship?
I learned that year.
Really?
Yeah, that freshman year I came in.
Like nothing in high school or
No,
anything?
I didn't even know what CAD was, to be
Ah,
honest.
holy shit.
I didn't take any of the engineering classes in like high school or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It was just starting at college.
Hmm.
But it was because of like the multiple like engineering orgs that I was in. They all helped develop like like CAD skills and stuff like that. So,
Gotcha.
and then over that summer, my boss, or like my manager, he was like a savant at CAD, and
Yeah.
he would like tell me all the tricks and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, get show you the hotkeys. You know?
Oh my god, the hotkeys!
Yes,
That was
sir.
the biggest thing. I felt so cool, and I was just like typing random letters, and that shit would happen on the screen. I was like, when I came back to school and showed my friends that, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, what's up?
Dude, yeah, like, bro, I'm bossing up on y'all.
Mm.
Yo, you think you're the president of the club, huh?
It was funny. Actually, the coolest thing he did, which I think is hilarious, is so on the computer you can actually like, so when you like fuck up on the CAD model, essentially, it'll like throw you an error. It'll like flash your screens like you fucked up essentially.
Yeah.
What my boss did, he went into the settings and like hooked it up to like a speaker, and was like, essentially anytime you generate an error on SolidWorks, it's gonna like yell a huge like him screaming into a mic like "fuck you," and it like the entire office could hear it. And like
Oh,
I didn't know that
shit.
at first, so when the first time I did it, I like hit something and air just "fuck you." I was like, what the? I was like, what's happening? And then everyone was waiting for that moment. They just churned. And I was like, you fucked up, didn't you?
Oh my god, dude, that reminds me of there was a show, Silicon Valley on HBO,
Yeah.
and one of the characters, Guilfoyle, he had a Bitcoin mining rig, and every time that like Bitcoin was being volatile, it would like scream a death scream. So throughout the office, it was just like ah, like every single minute because fucking Bitcoin's just
just-
jumping, you know, dude. But that's hilarious. Your boss sounds like a fun ass dude.
Dude, he's such an interesting person. He like actually also went to UCLA. He went to UC Santa Barbara and then UCLA, and he's Russian, but also like the company that we worked at are like kind of like in the farmlands.
Mhm.
He's also like a redneck Russian, right?
Okay, define a redneck Russian.
It's just like, I don't even know. Like, it's just like his personality was like so unique, and I was like just not ready to see it. It's just like,
Damn, that's
just like think of like
okay.
a
I got
redneck
you.
attitude, but it was like a thick like Russian accent or something like that. It's
That
just-
sounds like a boss who knows how to get shit done.
Oh yeah, he was
on time.
he was on his shit. He was
got
so
it.
smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
So when he, actually no, we'll go back to you because that you're done with that internship,
Yeah.
right? So after you did your internship, you came back. You had all this new knowledge from your first year of college, your first internship, and because right now you're in your third, like
Yeah, I'm currently in my
yeah,
third
you're
year,
in
yeah.
your third year.
Yeah.
Was there any doubt that you ever had in your major when you got to college? Like, was there any experience where like you were in class or you were doing a project or you were doing something and you're like, bro, like, am I even cut out for this shit?
Yeah. It was like a small like, I think a lot of like kids at UCLA go through this. It's like imposter syndrome. It's like you don't belong there. Like it was just kind of like a fraud or something like that.
Mm.
And like I definitely experienced that at certain points because like the friends that I have, dude, they are so smart.
Yeah.
Oh my, like like in our school, like people thought like I was smart. And like I never really thought I was like that smart. And then coming here, like going to like UCLA and stuff, I was like, damn, these kids are geniuses. What the? Like, damn. Like I thought I did a lot.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
like they're going to like camps and stuff, and they already like have a robotics experience. I was like, I don't know how to build a robot yet. So like in like a lot of like the lower div classes, I actually kind of struggled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like for me, I always like thought like, and because like I picked mechanical engineering, just because I knew like mechanical engineering was like very broad. So I didn't know actually if that was the right choice or not. It was like later on, but like I didn't know at the time. And so I was like, it was like I was kind of struggling in the classes a little bit early on, like the physics series and stuff like that. Because I also didn't take like AP physics in high school. But all the kids in the class like already knew that stuff.
Yeah.
So like I had from early on, I had to play a lot of catch up, I think.
Gotcha.
So there was like always times of, like throughout those first couple of years of like, am I like cut out to be here?
Yeah.
No.
So after that first year, like, when did that go away? When did you have that moment where you're like, I belong? Like, I understand what I'm doing. Like, this is the group I want to be around, the individuals where I want to level up around these people.
Yeah, actually, that was a huge moment. It was sophomore year, like fall quarter. I was like, my grade, like everyone like at UCLA and like going from college to like high school to college is like you're like gonna be like a 4.0 student in like high school, and then like college, like for most people like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's always a big transition. It was the same with me. Like I wasn't going for like a 4.0. So, but like my friends that I was like with, they were all still like 4.0s or like 3.99s or something like that. And then like I'm over here with like a lower GPA on the lower end. It was like not bad, but like it was just like
It
compared to
wasn't a
them.
4.0.
Exactly. So I like starting that year after like I had like a pretty low GPA, not like super low, but like low, by like my standards.
Yeah.
Sorry. I knew I was like that year. I was like, I want to see like if I can still do it because like I haven't gotten like a 4.0 quarter. Like I wasn't even close like my freshman year.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to know if like, do I still have that in me, like that dog kind of a thing? And I
Yeah.
was like, let's see, like, can I just like kill these classes, or like, is it just like that I'm not good enough, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a test for me. So that sophomore freshman year, and then or sophomore fall quarter, and then winter quarter and spring quarter, I was like, I want to like try hard in my classes. So like I started like paying attention, how like I studied, and then like slowly but surely I could like start like asking like my friends who are like geniuses, who I'd always just like ask them like, can you teach me this?
Yeah.
I'd start like feeling a little more closer to their level of just like
Gotcha.
discussing concepts or
Started
something.
bridging the gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I still think there's a sizable gap like now, but like it's a little close.
Hey, they be at step 100, but I'm at like 51.
Yeah, they're in the NBA. I was in the G League. I'm riding the bench. You know?
I'm riding the bench.
I'm there.
Dude, that's freaking awesome, man. So after that, after you got over the imposter syndrome, you figured out, okay, this is it. This is what I'm trying to do. What's the biggest thing that right now, company wise, like people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, making exciting things in the world as an engineer? What excites you the most that's been coming out this year, or things you might see that come out in the next year?
I think like honestly, like I love like SpaceX. I think is so interesting.
Dude, I'm Team Mars, bro. All the way. We're gonna get there. I want to be a Martian.
100%.
Elon, I hope you hear this.
It's like super interesting because like everyone hates like a lot of like senior engineer, like super old engineers don't like SpaceX because like for one, it's like up and coming. They probably see it like as that kind of like
Yeah,
distaste.
so why is there so much friction between people being like NASA's the shit and SpaceX is garbage?
For one, I think it's because it's a private company. But also I think the huge thing is that at the beginning, like SpaceX is new and like they're failing a lot actually.
Oh, did you see Starship?
Yeah.
Dude,
The latest example.
that shit blew the fuck up.
Yeah, and like yeah, so like that's not the first one. They had many like fuck ups.
But also, I would, because if SpaceX was making traditional rockets like NASA did for the Apollo missions, we already know how to build those. You know, and the thing about, I mean, for me, why I like SpaceX so much is because like they're just making shit that's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, being able to bring a thruster that we can bring it back down, land it, and reuse it. And then Starship, where we don't even need a thruster, where it's literally like, we're getting to Star Wars, bro. We're getting to that reality one of these days.
Yeah.
You know, so for you, do you see yourself working for SpaceX as a dream in the future?
Dude, it actually almost was a dream this year.
What?
It was kind of funny. Like if my friends watch this,
Dude, tell the story. Tell the story.
It's just like it's funny because like for engineers, they always go like third year, like that's your time for like internships and stuff. That's
Yeah.
when companies want you. You've been going to career fairs like freshman, sophomore year, heard the same thing over and again. We're looking for juniors, seniors. So like coming into like this year, we're finally juniors.
That's when you're primed.
Like this is my shit.
Yep.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was like we thought it would be easy. I'm still like it was like rough. But then like and especially with like the pandemic and all like that, it was really poor timing. A lot of companies aren't even looking because they just don't want to deal with it.
Of course.
So the career fair was different. It was online. It was like awkward, kind of like to talk to people like not in person.
Yeah, you could do it like we were talking about earlier, man. Like if you're in school and like you don't really know many people in your class, like trying to make a friend through Zoom is virtually goddamn impossible.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? Type in the chat room, just like,
Oh, hey, hi, my name's Connor. You trying to be my friend? Hey, I live over here. You want to hang out? And it's like,
that's
no,
a
I've
cool
never.
name, Jessica.
Oh, hell yeah. So, okay, so yeah, back to the job fair thing this year. So, like with COVID,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Now let's jump into the COVID talk because one of the big things is how the UC and the state college system has been disrupted by COVID-19. Obviously, because you can't be in person. What's your take? How did you handle it? And like, what were like the big things that you're like, God damn it, like this fucking sucks because of this?
I mean, number one, obviously, it's just there's nobody like there. Like, I think a big thing about college and a big thing of like how like a lot of people change all the time is that you're forced to meet so many new people like constantly. Like you may not even remember their names. Like you know what they look like, you know the experiences you had with them, but like you're always meeting new people. Like and that doesn't stop just freshman year. Like sophomore year, it'll slow down like junior and senior, but like those it's so critical that you just meet a lot of new people and develop those social skills. That's completely gone. Like you cannot meet really any it's so hard to meet new people, I think.
I would imagine it's virtually impossible.
Yeah. I think like throughout this year, I've met like one new person.
Dude. And that just that worries me a lot because I like. Do you ever think about like the incoming freshmen?
Yeah, I feel so like it's hard. It's so hard for them. I can't. I can only imagine.
Especially trying to like go through freshman courses online.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, how rough was freshman year?
Freshman year was already rough in person with like friends that I met that I only got through those first like years because I had like those people that I met in the classes and like they helped me with homework and stuff and like taught me how to do it essentially. I don't know how like to get it done like if it was online.
And even like even just like the companionship of friends. Like when I was going to the film school, the only reason I lasted as long as I did was because of one of my friend's crews that I met, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because like especially one thing was he's a native LA dude, so like he was able to take me around and show me things.
That's good. Yeah.
But dude, like if I started on Zoom, holy shit, I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I here?
Exactly.
You know?
100%.
And have there been any talks, at least do you know, of like UCLA like cutting tuitions or any kind of cutbacks for you guys or just nothing?
It's funny, like as UCLA students, we like always shit on UCLA. I'm not gonna lie, but like as soon as we always like talk about like me and my friends always like as soon as someone else outside of UCLA tries to shit on UCLA, like we're like no, like
get the fuck out of here. You don't go here, man. You're not a part of the club, bro.
But like UCLA, no, they did not cut anything. Pretty much essentially like for tuition and stuff like that. Maybe like small fees, but like essentially I don't think they are going to. Which really sucks.
Has there been any talks of because we were talking about earlier how you guys have small groups like how you said like 99% of the people aren't in classes but there's those small percentage of people that like if they need to do a lab and they need to like use the facility like they can but is there any like hoops those people have to jump through?
Oh, it's a lot actually.
Like it's not just easy to be like hey like me and my group who's working on this project or it's 4 of us, you know, we need to get this space. Like is that hard for people to do?
It's actually practically impossible nowadays. So with all this space with all the lab spaces and like our club, like ASME and like Brew and Racing, we have our own labs and like workshops and stuff like that. Those are all shut down. Um, we're not allowed in, like no one's allowed in except one person. So like the lab manager of like our club is the only person that's allowed to go into the lab to grab stuff. Um, and then I just talked to her about like the process of doing it. It's so much. Like you have to fill out form after form after form, like a detailed list of what exactly you're grabbing from there, like health and wellness checks after that. And then
Man,
so it's a lot.
do you guys have to go like for your lab manager who has to go to the lab and get whatever they need to get? Do they have to get like even like COVID tested?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty
So
sure that
for them to even go and grab the stuff they need to do, they got to get tested, and then if they come up negative, like okay, you can go do it after filming out however many hundreds of forms they got to fucking do, right?
yeah.
Wow,
I will admit that like with UCLA
wow.
on the COVID situation, they like at least for testing availability, they made it very accessible to get like COVID tested.
So they made that easy for you guys.
Yeah, it's completely like free. And then like all students like living in like the dorms, or, like what limited students that are living there, they're required to get tested every week.
Oh,
And they do it on campus,
gotcha.
and they have multiple sites on the different parts of campus. So,
Gotcha. Okay, see that's I mean that's awesome for you guys,
yeah.
because I mean, is the school's big message like just no there like there's no not supposed to be any kind of human interaction with any of the students whatsoever?
Yeah, in person interaction, pretty much like no.
Yeah, that's
Like
just all beat to hell.
yeah, and they're always striving for like virtual interaction, and like I mean like you can't really blame them because like you can't. I mean, if you like look at like some of the schools in like the East Coast or like Florida and stuff like that, when they like released in person classes, they like shut down after like a couple weeks.
Oh, dude, they even middle schools and high schools did when they try to open it up for like
Mhm.
a couple days because they are getting positive tests.
Yeah.
Man,
So
damn. So what do you think the future? Do you think we're gonna see this bigger influx of just like I feel we're coming to this point where like for me, I mean like I told you, man, like because of COVID, because of being in house all the time, being isolated from people, not hanging out, not living the life that I lived before all of this.
hmm
I mean, I find things of myself where like I'm super anxious in big groups,
yeah,
and like when it comes to like those like party interactions, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
yeah.
I'm good because it just it makes me I don't know, just a little like I wouldn't say nervous the right word, but just like I'm conscious of everything around me, and there's just something that like it doesn't compute anymore. And do you think that like we're gonna start seeing this huge influx of the next or the generation below us, like growing up like that, like all
Um.
online,
hmm
and we're not gonna see this we're not gonna really see like in class stuff as much, or like even high schools having an online option versus an
Mm,
in-person option and going down to like the regular school system because of what this has done to the country.
interesting. I haven't really thought about it for like schools and stuff because I'd assume they'd like once this is all over, like the schools would come back. But I think the different, like the major change, at least from what I've like thought about, is like companies and stuff, like big companies. Because a lot of them are actually just like switching to like full, like obviously every company is like full time, like not in person, essentially for the most part.
Yeah.
But I know like a lot of like tech companies and stuff like that are gonna be permanently staying remote. Like
Do you know which ones?
I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was like parts of like Facebook or
I think
Google. Google?
um or
I forgot the
I
name.
know Oracle is making a
Okay.
huge push
Mhm.
for stay at home. And Facebook, they did a whole like, if you need to be at home, like they'll supply you with every piece of equipment
Mhm.
that you need, etc. But and I guess it's great for the company
Mhm.
because you're not paying for the land, you're not paying for the building, water, utilities,
And
electric,
electricity,
etc.
yeah.
But I feel like we're gonna see companies start having to pay for people's at home usage.
Mhm.
Companies paying for your bills
Yeah.
because if you go to like let's say college is reopened, right?
Mhm.
And you go to a college and like you're going to UCLA, you graduate, but then your job is on Zoom.
Yeah.
Like I don't I feel like we're gonna be in this weird limbo
Hmm.
of like just we're not gonna be the human beings that we once were.
Hmm.
You know, like there's just this massive shift that I'm seeing in just humanity, at least for us and me and what I'm
Yeah,
experiencing, like
yeah, of course.
fucking what's happening here in California, you know, because fucking I forgot this was a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
or not weeks ago, months ago, where dude California almost burned to the ground.
Oh man, yeah.
It literally looked like hell on earth here,
Just the entire world was raining down
you know.
California.
But dude, I'm excited to see what happens, but at the same time, I'm just weary. I'm weary of a lot of stuff. Like for
Hmm.
you, because you work in robotics,
Yeah.
and my friend Oscar, we did a podcast the
I watched
couple days.
actually.
You watched
Yeah, I
that one?
watched part of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we started talking because he works at Vicarious,
Hmm.
and one of the big things that we talked a little bit about was how robotics and or the relationship between robotics and the military is going to be in the future.
Mm.
Because when I see things like, and I said this on that podcast as well, like Spot from Boston
Ah,
Dynamics,
spot.
or
Yeah.
like the Atlas robot
So
from, I
cool.
think it's
Yeah.
Boston Dynamics as
Yeah.
well. It freaks me out, man.
It's kind of crazy.
So for you, because you work on robots, how
Yeah.
like for you, like what do you think we're gonna see this fucking okay the Skynet online?
I think it's gonna like something like I don't remember who I was talking about this, but like I don't know if it was my manager freshman year, but like with military and robots and stuff like that, they people always talk about like how like how earlier in like 2020 or 2021 it was
Yeah,
like World War III was starting or something like that.
yeah,
Um, we had to talk about like what World War III like when we talked about like World War II and like people getting drafted and stuff like that. I always like wondered like is that gonna happen to us? Um, and then I forgot who I was talking to, but they said essentially it was like, no, like I think that's not like I don't think we're ever gonna experience really another draft because like with robots being into the military, the next huge war isn't really gonna be focused around people fighting people. It's gonna be around like robots fighting robots, like whose company's technology, like drone strikes and stuff like that, who can detect that stuff better. So I think like robots and technology, especially like in the next like decade and stuff like that, is gonna completely like change, I guess, kind of how we see war. Hopefully, there's like no war.
yeah. Let's hope there's not,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like I just think of like right now, this room, everything we're in, like this power grid can be shut down by a
Hmm.
room of 5 hackers in a goddamn RV.
Yeah.
And the idea of like when we get into like real cyber warfare, 'cause
Mm.
I mean we have hackers and there's always going to be those pieces of shit that do things like that.
Hmm.
But like the idea of a country's entire satellite network going down,
Yeah.
like that I think is worse than definitely not worse than getting bombed, but like honestly kind of up there,
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a growing concern
you
with
know.
like the more things that are like getting uploaded like digitally or like transition to like more technology based, like all the more that stuff becomes important and like a possible target for when shit needs to go down.
Exactly. All right, man, let's get into probably one of the last topics that I have that I want to talk to you about is, do aliens exist? I'm gonna ask every goddamn guest I have because I love getting people's
Wait, this is
opinions.
gonna be funny because I took a class that kind of deals with this.
What? There's a class here about okay, let's get into this. All right, keep going, Zach.
So, as like for your degree, you obviously have to take like GEs, which stand for general education.
Mm,
And for engineers, you don't have to take that many. And like you only have 5 that you have to take, and they fall into different categories. And one of them's life sciences. So my freshman year, I actually took this. So it was it was the first class I ever actually walked into.
what? That's fire.
um, it was called. I signed up. It was called astrobiology. And I was like, that sounds cool.
That sounds sick.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like and like the 3 major topics that they covered was essentially the origin of the universe, um, where humans will live next, like if not like once we like inevitably destroy Earth.
Mm,
Um, and the last unit was like about aliens.
that's fucking lit. Okay, so First question. What did you learn about where humans are going to go next? Is it living on a starship and going to the next galaxy and breeding hundreds of thousands of times and have generations of kids who don't know what the Earth is and that live and die on a spaceship? Or is it Mars?
It's there's Mars, but there's also like small planets on like or small moons that like orbit like a lot of the bigger planets on the outer.
Like Europa and
Yeah,
things like
exactly.
that?
That's what a lot of like NASA missions are actually like preparing for like learning more about those moons and stuff because they want to see if it's like there's possible life and stuff like that, or if it's suitable for life. So
Gotcha.
it was really interesting.
Okay, so after taking this class,
Yeah.
do you think aliens are out there?
Oh, I mean, like 100% aliens exist.
What kind? Do you think it's going to be humanoid or like microbial?
I don't even know if we can like. Personally, I don't even know if we can like comprehend like what's out there because like as soon as like you get out like farther and farther like to different galaxies and stuff like that, you always like see the videos of like putting to scale of like how small we are.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Like
see
you
this
know those
all the
ones.
time. All the time. And I'm looking like, wow, Earth is literally a fucking pebble.
Exactly.
Great.
Like there's so much we don't know about like those environments and areas and like what could go happen there. It could like just change what science is to us.
Yeah.
And so like part of it, like I don't think it'll be humanoid. Like if we're gonna find life somewhere, it's definitely gonna be microbial. I don't think we're gonna find like anything like Martians or anything, you know.
No.
Unfortunately, unless
Yeah.
we already have, you know. But
So my next question is when it comes to us leaving the solar system, right? So let's imagine that we've taken over Mars. We were able to terraform it, change the atmosphere, and okay, boom, we got a second home away from home. Fantastic. It's like a fucking beach house. Great. Do you think that because there was a theory that I heard a while ago where if we were going to send anything from Earth that's lifelike or even similar to us
mhm.
out into outer space and to find a new planet or like to manifest somewhere else on a different galaxy, do you think we will ever send human beings out on a spaceship, or you think we're going to send things like a tardigrade?
Tardigrade. Love those things. Sorry.
Dude, yeah, they're the infinite.
Those
They
are
are the ultimate being, in
they're
my
the
opinion.
best being. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was such a side thing. I love those things. I definitely think. I mean, like, it's not gonna be in our lifetime, obviously. But I think like that's where we're heading. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna explore. We're gonna be out there, and I think it's exciting.
Dude, I'm fucking juiced. I'm juiced for that future. Too bad we're not gonna be here, but
Ghost us will
lineage.
just be like watching, like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. So someone will watch this podcast and be like, "Hey, dude, we did it.
That's
We did it."
us.
So that's kind of all my topics. Is there any topics that you had in mind that you wanted to bring up to ask me or discuss about?
I don't. I don't think so. Like,
All
that's pretty
right.
much it.
Well, hey man, we actually hit an hour and 3 minutes.
Oh, that's sick.
Dude, I each time I try to hit the hour. The hour mark is the thing I try to hit. So hey,
Perfect.
Zach, man, thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining the pod, bro. Thanks for letting me
Love
set
it.
this up here and come down
Of
to
course,
LA,
this
bro.
looks
This
sick,
is
man.
sick.
This is awesome. I'm glad
Dude,
to have you.
I'm gonna have you on again, bro.
Hell yeah.
Hello. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents, we are out.
See ya.